Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, March 14th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias that you can follow me on, that you can check up what I am doing and get up to during the week. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so if you want to see pictures of my cat, you should follow me there. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about. Hopefully, if I do not forget anything, will be on my blog. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you are on my blog already, everything is already there. I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the social media, website information, all the places. So if you like to check us out online, because we do have an online store, and the way gas prices are going, it's just not a great, who wants to be driving anywhere really, or you can check us out in person and come say hello, which we would love. We have things to discuss. I have a finished object. I thought I was going to have two finished objects, but it was not in my cards, and that's okay, and that's fine. But I do have one, and that's something. And it's a pretty big one too, so we're just going to enjoy that, and I can't wait to chat about it with you all. I do have laundry going. I don't know if you can hear it. I hope not. But that is okay. You know what? We are just going to continue on our merry way. So if you like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, which I will be eventually doing. I already have a pile on the bed that the cat has nested in. So that's great. Maybe you are making your lunch. Maybe you are just chilling. Whatever you are doing, I hope it brings you joy and a little bit of relaxation or something. And you can do all of those things, none of those things, whatever, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. I have this pattern on Mondays, and today was no different. Some Mondays, I'm just like very much like, I have a list, I'll get it done. I will just check everything off, and then I will be feel super great about it. That is not every Monday. In fact, it is more often the other type of Mondays, which I'm about to explain to you, which is today. I usually have great energy up until around lunchtime, and or a little bit after lunchtime, and then I just lose steam. I get distracted really easily. I start looking at things. I am doing other things that are technically productive and things that I need to do. It's just not the things that I need to do today. And so I was like raring to go. I made my cup of my latte, and I was like, I'm getting ready to record. I just need to do it. And then I sat down on the couch and got distracted by the internet and Instagram and stuff like that. So consequently, my latte is no longer fresh. It's almost gone. Still very good. It's not hot anymore necessarily, but so now you know the temperature of the drink I'm drinking. I know I'm not the only one when it comes to things like that, so I just wanted to share that bit of my reality, my Mondays, what it may be. I'm feeling a little low energy today, but that's okay. You know what happens. It's very strangely overcast today. It's getting warmer. As far as I know, there are no any more cold fronts coming, but we know that can change. But it is overcast and there's supposed to be rain today, so it's just kind of like, I feel sleepy. Also, the time change. Ugh. Is anybody a fan? I know, like, I am very grateful for it to be lighter in the evenings. Do not get me wrong. I'm very happy for that. But the waking up process is just even harder than it already was, and I don't like that. So, feeling low energy. But we're just gonna carry on because that is life and that is what we do, you know? We just gotta keep on keeping on. What is my finish object, my friends? And I may be wearing it. This is my Cinecardigan by Rachel of Maven Crafted. This is a just regular cardigan. There's a cropped and a long version. I went for the long version. I'm very nicely sat upon my pillow, so I'm not going to be getting up. I do apologize, but there will be pictures out by the time you watch this. So go check out my Instagram. The link is down below if you're on YouTube. I used Miss Babs Yowza in the Gibson Girl colorway for the body and the sleeves, and then for my cuff and my collar, I used a Yowza mini skein from Miss Babs in the something fog. What is it? Coastal fog. For some reason I was thinking English fog, and I was like, it's definitely not that. I don't know why I was thinking of that. Probably I was thinking of a London fog, which is not yarn. I feel like that would make a really pretty color. I'm sure someone has done that at some point for a yarn color, but this color is called Coastal Fog. Beautiful. I love it. I have not really taken it off since it dried by the time I got home from work on this past Saturday, and it's just so snuggly. I did do the option for the puffed sleeves opposed to the tight sleeves, so I just did the decreases that it called for before doing the ribbing. I love that. I don't really have a lot of sweaters that are like that. Granted, I know that can make it more likely for your sleeves to get in things. I completely understand that, and that does irritate me, but I also just really like the look of it. So I will say that I probably did my cast off a little too tight on these sleeves because I like to push my sleeves up, and I can't really, like, I can do that, but that's not very comfortable. So I could take it out, but I'm not going to because I just like it the way it is. And yes, but I love it. It was a very well written pattern. It's a great first cardigan pattern if you are needing one. I really like this garter ridge detail that you have on the sleeves. You don't really have it anywhere else except for the sleeves, and I think it's a very just nice accent, fun texture. It makes the knitting process go very quickly because you're like, oh, I'll just do another garter row, it's fine. And then before you know it, you're done, and it's just so great. We all love projects like that, you know. There are no buttons. I'm sure it'd be very easy to add buttons. This is a shawl collar, so you can see that it's longer and can fold over if you so desire. But I also just really, it's just very snuggly. I love this yarn. I haven't knit with any Miss Babs yarn other than my dotted rays that I just finished. The Yowza, I haven't knit with it in forever, and it's just so nice. It's just so squishy, and I love it. And it's just like, I love it so much. I really like this color. Yes, it's pink, and yes, it's like the perfect, in my opinion, the perfect like mauvey rose goldy pink with all these speckles. And yes, my sleeves are slightly different than my body in regards to the yarn and it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's my sweater. It doesn't bother me. But I just think it's like the perfect springy color, but also can go pretty much anytime you want to wear a cardigan. I feel like as I've gotten, we're gonna have a tangent here, I do apologize. As I've gotten more, I don't know if confident is necessarily the word that I want, but I'm more like aware of what I want my style to be and what my style is. I feel a little less inclined to be like, I can only wear these colors during this time of the year. Yeah, I mean, springtime definitely lends itself to lighter colors and like more pastel-y colors rather than the fall, but if you love it, you can make it work. You can wear a pastel color in November if you really want to. So yes, this is a springy color, goes great in the spring, could go in the summer. Not that I'm going to need a cardigan then necessarily, but you never know. Air conditioning is a thing, traveling is a thing. Obviously will go well in the winter and the fall, but it was a very random tangent. How do you feel about that? Do you, and I mean, I don't think there's any right or wrong way. It's really just how you work your style and your wardrobe in with what you want to wear. I don't necessarily like being confined to a color palette. I feel like that's too much of a decision thing that I have to make. And if you're new here, I hate making decisions. I absolutely loathe making decisions. And it's like the really small, inconsequential decisions that really stress me out. All decisions stress me out, but like, what project am I gonna cast on? I have no idea. It's making me anxious thinking about it. That kind of thing. Picking a color palette for like 4 months or 3 months or whatever your time period may be just kind of is like, that's a lot to decide and commit to. I think I definitely could do it if I tried, but it's just like, I like all the colors, you know? I mean, I like all the colors. I don't necessarily look good in all the colors, but I like all the colors. And if if it brings me joy and makes me feel good and confident and all that kind of stuff, then I'm gonna wear it, you know? It makes me happy. It's my clothes. I'm the one wearing it. So anyway, long story short, this color could go any time of the year. If you need a cardigan, that is more important, if you actually need a cardigan or not. Because here, you don't always need one, and that is okay. It's just the place that we live in. I do have a new cast on. I did decide, because I did finish this, obviously, and it's a very happy day, loving life and my new cast on. I only have 3 other projects that I worked on. That's okay. You know, we are just gonna go with it. It was a busy week. It was a busy week, but I did get a lot of knitting done. Obviously, I finished my cardigan. It's looking very dark out there. I see rain clouds and it's getting very windy. I really, another side note, the light in this house is just really beautiful because there are so many windows that lets in a lot of natural light, obviously, because that's what windows do. But also when it gets darker or overcast, it just gets really cozy, and I love that so much. And that was one of those things that like I didn't necessarily know until we moved in and we were like, oh, or I was like, oh wow, this is just really nice and I just want to snuggle up with Birdie and knit and read and drink coffee or tea and just not do anything. So on the downside, it makes me sleepy and makes me not want to be productive. On the positive side, I just really like being cozy and all those vibes, even if it's warmer outside. It doesn't have to be cold outside to be cozy. Because if that's the case, then we would not be cozy the majority of the year here. Because it's so hot. It gets so hot. Anyway, I said I would get distracted by the windows. I have one over here. I have one over there that I can see. It's a little bit further away. But I see dark clouds. And it's just, the vibe is very cozy. Anyway. But we do have the light. The sun is out on this side of the house, so we have the light changing, and I do apologize. But we still have good lighting. Anyway, I'm rambling. I do apologize. I've got 2 test knits and a fun knit that I cast on. And we have other test knits coming up that I have yet to cast on, and that's okay because they're not due for a while, but we are going to figure that out later this afternoon. That's on my to-do list, which I'll talk about later after I'm done talking about my works in progress, because it kind of plays into my yarn wall and how things are laid out, I guess. A little bit, I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, so my 2 test knits have been going marvelously well. I was so excited. I made so much progress on both of them. This one I had really hoped to get done because I am so close to finishing it. I'm so close. I really had hoped, but I ran out of one of my, or I didn't run out. I needed to wind up more of my main color, and I didn't have time to do that, so I couldn't move forward. And I thought I could get to that on Sunday. I didn't. That's okay. I'm so close to being done, and I love this thing so much, and it's not coming out until April. This is Twice the Stripes Tee by Nicole of Thorson Knits, and this is what I have so far. I'm almost done. I love this so much. Like, these stripes are so cool, and they make me so happy. This is just your basic fingering weight raglan top-down tee. You can make a long sleeve version. You have to change your yardage, of course. I'm making the tee version. I do not have very many summery knit tees, and so in addition to this being the year of the cardigan, I'm also going to make an effort to make more summery tees. And then we have these very happy stripes, which are kind of tweedy, and I don't know if the camera's really picking that up, but that's okay. I love this so much. My yarn is Cascade Heritage, which is the main color, and then my contrasting color is yarn that I've had for a very long time. It is Blue Mule Fiber in the Cantina colorway on their tweed base, or their Donegal tweed base, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I really love this. I apologize for my nails. They are not very happy right now, or they are just kind of they need to be taken care of, so I apologize because they don't look great, but that's okay. You know, that happens. So I'm just plugging along. I am almost done. I need to try this on. I'm glad that I tried this on. I did add some length after the divide for the sleeves because of striping placement and all that kind of stuff. So I added some length there before I started the stripes, and I need to try it on once I wind up the other skein of the main color that I have, because I need to finish the whole like striping sequence to see where I am and if I need to add any more. If not, then I will just go on to the split hem of ribbing, which is very exciting. That should go pretty quickly. And then the sleeves, there are 2 stripes of color on the sleeves, and then your cuff, and then I'm done. So in theory, this could be done by next week, which would be really amazing. I would really like that. I just need to wind up my yarn. And I am working tomorrow, so on Tuesday, which will be yesterday potentially when you watch this. So in theory, I could have just raced through and made lots of progress on this, but so yes, this is Twice the Stripes Tee, which is a test knit for Nicole of Thorson Knits. It's coming out in April sometime. Loving this. I cannot wait to wear it. I just love this gray. It's kind of like a creamy gray. I don't know if you can, if the camera's really picking it up very well, but it's one of those ones that's like, it's not a white, but it's like a really cool gray white. I like that. like that, especially for a summery tea, you know. I love it. To go with my jeans, my new jeans that I love so dearly. I'm not wearing them today because they are currently being washed, because that's important, but they will go. My tea will go very nicely with my jeans, and I'm very excited. Next up in my test knitting life, I am knitting on the Basic Bee hoodie by Becky of Pots and Knots. I'm just doing real great with remembering everybody's names and usernames, which doesn't always happen, so we're gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I also made a lot of progress on this, and here they're kind of actually in the same-ish area. I have finished the main color on the body. I've started the purple for the color blocking. I have about 5-ish more inches, I think, before I do the ribbing on the bottom. Then obviously the sleeves will go super quickly. The sleeves are also color blocked. And then I have a hood to make, which I have never made a hood, and I know it is very easy and straightforward, and so far the pattern that Becky has written has been very clear and straightforward, and I love that. And then you have an I-cord out of the contrasting color, and the hood is made out of your main color. So I'm using Lion Brand Wool Ease in this brownie oatmeal-y color, and then this purpley plummy color, and I love it. I love Wool Ease so much. This is my second or third garment knit out of this stuff, and it's so nice, and they have so many colors, and it's just very inexpensive. It wears well. My weekender that I just wore recently, I love my weekender so much. It's made out of this, and it is just, I just love it. I love it so much. The Wool Ease today is not the same Wool Ease that we may remember of the past. It is so much better, and can be very underrated. So if you're looking for some worsted weight that you just want to try something new, I would highly recommend the Lion Brand Wool Ease, because again, they've got a ton of colors on their website. Would recommend. But anyway, so this is just another top-down raglan sweater. No, it's not a cardigan, but that's okay. I believe this is where I showed it to you last week, so clearly I've gotten a lot done, which is really great. Made lots of progress. This is my little sparkly donut from Little Bitty Delights. I love her Progress Keepers very dearly. She is also so wonderful and very sweet. So this is the Basic Bee hoodie. Loving it. It's going great. Currently I am keeping my works in progress in this random storage container and carrying it around with me, which really isn't anywhere because it stays by my side of the couch, and I just brought it over here, so I'm not really carrying it anywhere, but it is very easy to transport. Is it my favorite way to transport projects? No, but it's what I had and what I could find. So you make it work. May not necessarily be what you are used to, but that is okay, because things are still in boxes. There's boxes that I can't find, and they're kind of important boxes. They're boxes that contain a lot of my planning stuff, so like more, I picked out like a handful of washi tapes and a handful of like sticker sheets and a handful of pens and markers to keep out while we moved, so I would know like where they were, and then I knew I would eventually get to that box of the rest of my planning stuff and I could unpack it. Haven't found that. Don't know where that is. It's somewhere. I know that for certain. The other box, unfortunately, is my knitting notions. I packed that, and I did the same thing. I put together a little bag of things that I knew I would use, so I didn't have to leave out a ton of stuff. I could get it away and put in a box and like be ready to go, and I could just work with what I had. And I haven't been able to find that box, and so I have a lot of holiday Christmas stitch markers that are no longer seasonally appropriate. I could knit with like a Santa and a snowflake and that would be fine, but I really like to like match things if I can. I have so many that I would like to use, I just can't find them. I know they're somewhere. They honestly may be here and I just can't find them because there's just a lot of knitwear I need to figure out what to do with. It may be out in the garage. They were also, both of those things were packed into smaller boxes, and those smaller boxes may be in a bigger box, and I just don't know it. But these are the first world problems of moving, really. They're not things that I need. It's not like I'm going to have a crisis if I can't find them today or tomorrow, but I would like to, but I probably won't. So that is okay. It is what it is. We will make do with what we have. I will knit with... Oh, I do apologize. Our dryer makes that noise when it's getting close to being done, so it may continue to make that noise every once in a while. I will try to do my best to edit things out. Anyway, the laundry room is like right behind you on the other side of our front door. So, fun fact. So the last project that I worked on, besides this of course, is the Layla cardigan by Elizabeth Smith. That's what I decided to cast on. Because last week I had the four options of what I wanted to do potentially, and I decided, thank you everyone for all your opinions and your comments about it, and I am just having so much fun. Loving it. And this is what I have so far, and I know it's definitely blowing it out of... There we go. This is what I have so far, and I am just having a grand old time. I am using Barocco Ultra Wool. It is a DK weight, or Ultra Wool DK, excuse me, and I got it from where I work, from Pearly Girls. And then this, not a very exciting looking skein of Noro, but this is Noro. I believe this is the Silk Garden. I'm pretty sure this is Silk Garden. Yes. Color 423 if you were curious. And so this is what I have so far. Not a ton, but still having a grand old time. On the side seams, we actually have this like garter stitch panel, which I didn't even realize until I was placing markers. I had my setup row and I was like, oh, this is how this works. I see. The pattern originally is striped. You have your main color, and then on the body where I am doing my Noro is striped with a contrasting color. And there's a fancy way you do stripes, and I'm obviously not doing that. I am just knitting the body until I reach the length, honestly, that I want. And then I will do the shoulder shaping and dividing for the fronts and the back and all that kind of stuff. There is a button band or a collar or whatever you want to call it, because there are actually no buttons. I could add buttons, but I don't know if I will. But anyway, I have 3 skeins of this that are not in this box. They are somewhere else. And so I'm just knitting along and knitting in stockinette stitch, which is just a grand old time. We're having fun. I've been saying that a lot recently, having a grand old time. I don't know why. That and living their best life. I don't know why, but that's okay. So anyway, I'm living my best life and having a grand old time by knitting this Noro. And it's just been a lot of fun. It's just very simple, very straightforward. I'm going to move my little progress keeper, which is also from Little Bitty Delights, so I can mark my progress for next week. Oops, it's too much. Here we go. Of my little caramel latte. Ooh. Ta-da! You've seen this before. I have shown it many a time, but anyway, I'm just really enjoying this. It's just kind of mindless knitting and stockinette with a little bit of garter stitch on the sides, which I really do enjoy. I think that I would enjoy that, or I am enjoying that more than if it was just plain stockinette stitch. It adds a little bit of fun, different textures, and I think it also looks cool with the Noro as the color changes, because then you have that color, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but you have, like, on the garter bumps you have one row of yellow and then the other row of purple, like kind of there, and I just think it looks really nice. I really like it. So it's fun. This has been in my stash for a long time. The Noro has. Clearly I have a lot of it, but I love Noro very dearly. And there's another cardigan that just came out actually that I really, really want to make. I think it's called the Equinox cardigan by Brienne Moody. By Brienne Moody. And it's steeked, and otherwise it's just it's a colorwork cardigan, and I just think Noro, or I have a bunch of hand spun up there that you can't see that I think I need to use. I don't think I need to use, I know I need to use, because I love knitting with my hand spun, or Noro would be a really good option. So I just don't know. There's just so many projects and new patterns that keep coming out that I really want to make, and I just don't have enough time, and there's just a lot going on. But anyway, I will be casting on things in the future, and by future I mean this week probably. I have test knits, more test knits coming up, one of which is a shawl, which I'm very excited for, by Tiff Nealand of Tiff Nealand Designs, which I'm very excited to be test knitting for her again. It's a wrap, and I actually don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a super fun texture. Her original one was knit with like a slub yarn and some surrey or mohair or something like that. It looks like a super fun texture. I think it's a side-to-side one. There's some eyelets involved, but we had the option to just kind of like use fingering weights. We didn't necessarily have to use a surrey or necessarily use a slub. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having my color A, and then, or yarn A, one color, and then yarn B, there are two colors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have color, or yarn B, be a lot of just like scraps and just kind of fade things through, if that makes sense. So I need to pick out my color palette, and I have my big basket of like open skeins and leftover bits over here that is not very well organized, and I really want to get it up in this bookcase that's over here, but that is a task for another time, another day. And it's knit on a big needle. I think it's like a size 10 or something. So I'm excited. I think it'll be very fun way to play with color. And I think I'll probably I need to look through this one, because I'll either go really light or I'll go really dark. Ooh, that's a fun idea. I don't know if I have any like available black yarn that will work. I'll figure it out. And then I do have another sweater test knit. It's summery tee. It's not a cardigan, but it is a summery tee. So, and I think there are some edits being made to that pattern. So it's not quite ready for me to cast on anyway. So I'm very excited about that. I will hopefully share that progress with you next week. Both test knits. because I need to get those started. And I think that will be a task for this afternoon. Or after I'm done recording, because it is already the afternoon, you know. It is already 3:30. Just gotta keep on going with our day. And folding the laundry. But, so unfortunately, I think that is all that I have to talk about. I do apologize that this is a much shorter episode this week, but it is what it is. And this is all I have to talk about. But I do have a finished sweater, so there's that. I would highly recommend this pattern, again, if you're looking for a very simple, just like super easy top-down cardigan. If you have never knit a cardigan, I would highly recommend this pattern. It's very great, very easy to read. I was going to say something else and I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. It's a good one. Very snuggly. I love it. Oh, I remember. There's also a pullover version of this, and I believe there are other versions. The dryer is really proving to be an issue. I'll have to time things better next time. At least it's not like it doesn't last for a long time, so I just have to wait it out. But it's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with me, for listening to me rant and ramble and go on tangents and get distracted by the clouds on either side of me, because I have windows on either side of me, which is wonderful. I love the light. I love being cozy. I love being cozy. I have all the various social medias. I have show notes. If I forget anything, please feel free to send me a message. Or if you just want to say hello, please feel free to just say hello. I would love that. I said show notes. There's yarn store information. That will be all the places as well. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are so successful. I have crafty plans. I think once I get the body done of my hoodie, the sleeves will go very quickly. I do know that. I think it's just the hood that is gonna take some time, just because I don't know what I'm doing. But I know it'll be very easy, and I think it's just a straightforward knit. It's just I don't understand the construction right now. But all I have to do is read the pattern, so that's really exciting. And then obviously the tee, the striped tee, twice the stripes tee, is going very well. I need to plan and cast things on, so hopefully I will have at least one finished object next week. Maybe two? I don't think so. That would be a lot. But you never know. You never know. I am FaceTiming a friend this Wednesday, and that usually proves itself to have a lot of knitting involved, because we're FaceTiming and we're just sitting there, which is so pleasant, and I love it so much. So, you know, I could get a lot of knitting done this week. It is very possible. But yeah, I'm going to go. I need some more energy. I probably should drink some water. Have you drank enough water today? You should probably drink some more water, because we all do. I know I haven't drank enough water today. I've done pretty good, but I know I could probably drink some more. Also because I feel a headache coming on. So I'm gonna go. I hope you are doing well. I hope your projects are going well. You are wonderful. I love you. You are the best for hanging out. You are enough. This is a very subdued end to this episode. I do apologize. I feel like last week we were just full of energy. It is not the case this week. Such is life. Just low energy. That's okay. I think it really is the time change. Maybe I need to lay down and take a little nap. Maybe that's what I need to do. Sounds really nice. But the bed is covered in clothes. But there's always the couch. And we also have a guest bed now in our guest room. Because that feels like a really adulty thing to have, which we're very excited about. Anyway, that is all that I have. I am now just rambling. I hope you have more energy today than I do, because I'm pretty low, but that's okay. That is okay. Such is life. Anyway, with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, that you are full of energy, or if not, you take time for yourself to rest, because that is also good and important and productive. And I will see you all next week. Bye.